And welcome to the Sunday edition of Beerfield Fantasy Football. For a lot of you, it is the first week of your fantasy football playoffs. For some of you, you'll have to wait another week, but for most of you, this should be week number 1 of your playoffs. So, welcome. I'd like to start off with my most sincere apologies for not having a show last week during a critical playoff week. As most of our regular listeners know, I've been awaiting the arrival of my first child. And that happened on Tuesday night, essentially right as we were getting ready to sit down to record. So, and then we didn't get home until Friday afternoon, so there wasn't really any chance to put a makeup date in there. So, that's the reason for that. So, my apologies. I'm sure you can understand. If not, well, I'll reserve those comments.
Try to think. Be a little nicer.
Yeah. You can go fuck yourself, San Diego.
show some understanding.
Yeah. Cheers, Darren.
So if you're going to give anyone crap, give Dan crap for not pitching a solo show.
That's true. That's true. With no advance notice whatsoever.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
I believe in him. He could have done it.
A real all-star could have pulled that off. Speaking of Dan, I think he was supposed to be off today, and he's not here, so give him shit for that, too. That's at ThurryBFF, if you would like to talk shit to Dan. We do have Nick here, though, as we have most Sundays this week, while Thurry is neglecting all of you. So, happy for him. Been a real lifesaver here of the last couple weekends of you guys not having to hear me talk for 45 minutes and, stammer around trying to fill dead air. So, that being said, a little bit different of a rhythm on this show. We are still going to touch on news. As we touch on news, as we hit the individual games, we may try to give a little bit more perspective on some other things from that game since we didn't get to do the full preview. You won't get a full game preview. We don't have 2 hours on a Sunday morning to do that. But we may try to give a little bit of perspective if there's anything there that we particularly like or do not like, just to kind of make amends for Tuesday. And, Nick gets to pick up Dan's slack in that regard. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the news. Starting off, Brandon Cooks is not going to play this week versus the Bears. He's got foot and neck injuries. Oh, there's Dan. Look at that. So, it's foot and neck injuries for Brandon Cooks.
Is he a cow?
Who, Dan?
No, Brandon Cooks.
Hey!
All right, now we have a time limit. We have 40 minutes, and I don't know if that goes from the time the Zoom call started or from when Dan joined.
Well, I don't think we were on for 40 minutes. Sunday show.
We have been over 45 before the last couple Sundays.
That's because Nick's back and he talks a lot. I know how this goes.
We kept giving you. We were just shit talking you too, talking about how.
I mean, I would.
Talking about how if you were a true all-star, you would have went on your own on Tuesday with no advance notice whatsoever. All right. So, anyway, you got here just in time for the start of the show,
Perfect.
minus the intro. Brandon Cook's not going to play this week versus the Bears. Foot and neck injuries. So, Kiki Kuti.
And Chad fucking Hansen.
And Chad Hansen. Yeah. Because Chad Hansen.
Zay Coulter.
So Kiki Kuti and Chad Hansen. Buster Skrine is out this week, so that is a boost for Kiki Kuti. They're not going to move Fuller inside. They're not going to move Johnson inside. So Kiki Kuti will get whoever Buster Skrine's back. I don't even know who Buster Skrine's backup is. So that's a big upgrade in what he's going to be facing, though.
Considering he couldn't beat out Buster Skrine, I'm assuming not very good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Chad Hansen, though, is a deep cut. He did see plenty of volume last week, put up a really good game, and the Bears' defense has been playing soft over the last couple weeks. So, a lot of cover 2 shell. I expect there to be some underneath stuff there for Chad Hansen. And we did like him for all things considered in our first year.
Yeah, he was an interesting prospect. Obviously, he hasn't done much in the NFL, but maybe he has like an Adam Thielen type career arc where he goes from nothing to suddenly producing in year like 4 or 5.
Right, when he's 37.
He has one good game, and then we won't talk about him.
Morning, Alex.
Besides him being
that's probably more likely.
That's more.
But there were some flashes I liked from him from his college tape at Cal. So if he produced, that'd be kind of cool. That like, hey, we saw some things we liked 3 fucking years ago, and he ended up doing something.
He's also bigger than I remember.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", isn't he? He's
Yeah,
a big dude.
He's a big guy.
There was a lot of white slot receivers in that draft class, so you may have just merged them all together in your mind.
Well,
He also tried to guess
did.
every single size and then was completely off on him.
well,
He's what, 5'10", 195? No, he's 6'4".
yeah,
Okay.
I don't even remember who that was. Those were guys that don't matter anymore. I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure. Philly expected to start Jalen Hurts the remainder of the season, so this is interesting because you'd normally be like, all right, veteran quarterback struggling, try to see what you got, except they've already extended Carson Wentz. And they don't have an out on him until 2020, after the 2021 season. Yeah.
Yeah, they got at least another year of this, and it's still a painful out. I think.
Yeah, it's
It is.
$15 million in dead cap to save 22.
Yeah. I think this is probably a dual move of trying to see what you have in Hurts and also possibly trying to protect Wentz, who's just getting fucking killed behind that offensive line.
Yeah, but if Hurts performs, then Philly's got a little bit of a problem on their hands as far as
They're going to move Wentz. I think they're moving Wentz.
who's taking him with that contract.
I don't know that they can
I think
afford
the
to sell him.
I think they can because I think they'll just take the down year, rebuild the team, move Wentz to a team that may need a quarterback that has played with once before during his MVP season, and Frank Wright, Colts. Philip Rivers is definitely not a long-term man.
You think Ballard's going to give up that draft capital? Or is
I
gonna
think
give
Ballard's not smart enough. I think Ballard is dumb enough to do it.
No, I don't. Ballard's a great GM.
Yeah.
I mean,
some questionable decisions here.
I don't think Philly can afford to trade him either. So much guaranteed money on that contract.
Yeah.
I think someone broke down how it would work. It's not going to look good. It's going to still look bad. But we've seen teams move off of these bad contracts. The Bears took Nick Foles. The Texans found a way to trade Brock Osweiler.
So that one required them to send a second-round pick to the Browns.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to look good. I'm saying that there is don't write off the Wentz not being traded.
No.
They could. I think they won't cut him. They will. They move on from him. They won't cut him.
I do agree with that. There's no way they can cut him.
There's no fucking way they can cut him.
Well, the Bears will probably trade for him. Let's be honest here. They're going to need a quarterback after this season. They'll probably do it.
He's white. He's struggling. Yeah. We'll take him.
He played with Foles. Perfect.
Yeah.
They'll make Foles better.
Bears defense or Browns today from Darren. Bears get a depleted Texans offense. No David Johnson. No Brandon Cooks. Will Fuller suspended. Browns. I haven't even
Ravens.
Have the Ravens. Probably the Bears.
The Bears.
So, I even with the depleted secondary, Watson is just fucking good enough that it's still a little scary.
Go on the ball for too long and take some sacks.
Yeah,
so
I'm not saying it's not a matchup you should be looking for, but it's also a situation where it's like this is not a slam dunk PST throw them in type situation. There's still a little bit of concern.
They're not going to go put up 24.
Kind of like how I feel with I've got San Francisco starting in a few leagues where it's just like this should be a good matchup, but I'm concerned.
All right. Half PPR, pick 2, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Deebo Samuel, Kiki Kuti, Wayne Gallman. We got some breakdown to do here. So the Colts have the Raiders.
Great matchup.
Yeah, got gashed. So that's a great matchup. Lions have the Packers, another great matchup for DeAndre Swift coming back off of a concussion, so I don't know if they try to protect him at all. Niners and Deebo Samuel have Washington.
So it's Deebo's out for me.
Yeah, he's dealing with a foot issue too.
Yeah.
Last time we said Deebo was out, he went off. QT, we already talked about. He's got the Bears with no Buster Screen on the inside, and the Giants have Cardinals.
I think it's 2 of JT, Swift, and Kiki. It's just I'm not sure which 2.
Swift and JT. He's still. I mean, we can get excited about QT, but at least we know we've seen both Swift and JT pop. That JT didn't play because of
Any concerns about Swift and how much trouble you seem to have coming back from that concussion, and that the Lions might try to protect him?
Well, they said there was a separate illness too that he had around the same time, right? Like it was
Right.
two things.
He's missed a couple weeks, hasn't practiced a whole heck of a lot.
I think if I'm going for safety, I think I'm going JT and QT, and JT's not even really that safe.
That's more where I was at, was JT and QT. I like Swift. I'm
But
a
there's
little
a lot of danger there.
Yeah, a little concerned with him coming back off of a 3-week absence.
But JT also has a similar situation where it's like Wright could suddenly decide not to give him any touches.
That's true.
You know, and we still, I mean,
JT's got the
QT could be the guy.
Right.
Could be the guy. This could just be just a bad overall. And Bears, again, we know that they're deep. They've struggled as of late, but I think all three of these guys don't have a lot of safetyness to them. We don't
safetyness.
know. Yeah, safetyness.
Are you looking for like
They've all been
floor
hurt
or
from-
something like that?
Sure, fine, whatever. But I don't know. I'm going with Swift and Tate. I'm going with the upside.
I mean,
I'm
going with the running backs
back
is
production.
often a good call. So I don't disagree with it. I think Swift just concerns me because it could be a very low touch or ease him back in game where he doesn't take full advantage of the matchup.
What do the Giants have?
Giants have Arizona.
So not an amazing
Not to
matchup.
say that, I mean, not to say that we need to toss praise to Wayne Gallman's also
He's been good.
a very productive back.
Is it JT and Wayne Gallman?
I was gonna say, I don't think we just write off Wayne Gallman. God, that feels fucking weird. Who would have thought in 2020 we'd be saying, "Oh man, we can't write off Wayne Gallman right now."
I'm really hoping no one is starting him, but no Fournette today.
Ooh. Yeah, Wayne Gallman's been really good. I think it might be JT and Wayne Gallman. I think that might be your safest route.
That might be your.
Just avoid the Detroit situation entirely.
Yeah, avoid the two guys coming back from injury, and avoid the guy with whose quarterback might just get lit up all game, and go with JT in a plus matchup, who's seemed to have figured it out after a slow start to his career. And Wayne Gallman, who's been very, very good. It's a game. I mean, Arizona's not great. They're game script neutral.
They're
So
struggling right now. I mean, since the Curry shoulder injury, it hasn't quite looked.
there you go, Alex.
Awesome.
Nice, clear answer.
I think we got there.
I think we
5
got there.
minutes
I
later.
think it's JT and Gallman. I think we came to a consensus. Nice. All right. Christian McCaffrey not going to play against Denver this week after tweaking his quad. They should shut him down for the rest of the season.
I agree.
They should.
I mean, this is a year that has shown promise for that team, but there's no reason to risk getting some of their star players hurt further. So with DJ Moore on COVID, McCaffrey still banged up, I think it's just time to start shutting guys down.
I think so
They
too.
should. Yeah.
Mike Davis against Denver is not great. Davis has kind of fallen off as the season's worn along as well.
It's obvious he was not ready or prepared to take on a full season's work.
Yeah. Which, why would you be? You're on a team with CMC. But
Yeah. Well, and just like it's a very limited number of people in the world who are ready to do that.
right. Exactly.
So I'm not blaming him for it. It's just he's obviously not held up through the season.
For sure. Josh Jacobs is going to return this week versus the Colts. You plug and play him because now the Raiders want to run their offense. Don't expect Darren Waller to see 20 targets this week. T. Higgins expected to play week 14 against the Cowboys despite being questionable with the hamstring injury. He's been kind of in that wide receiver 3 range since the injury to Joe Burrow. So he still has value. It's just capped value. The Bengals, I believe, do have a plus matchup. Yeah,
keep
Dallas.
playing down the last couple weeks of the season here, Higgins, so I can go trade for you in a few places.
Yeah, no, you know how stoked I am to be going in with T. Higgins and CeeDee Lamb as 2 of my wide receivers in a dynasty league.
I'll be very, very happy.
I have 0 Higgins shares right now in any of my dynasty leagues, and I'm hoping to rectify that in the next
I have
once
a decent
trades
amount
open
of
up
T.
again.
Yeah, a couple questions. Carolina defense versus Denver or AC.
Gotta be Carolina versus Denver, I think, just because Drew Lock's always good for a pick or two.
But
I
he's
mean-
so much fun.
He is fun.
And Carolina's defense though isn't good, so that concerns me.
I like KC here.
Yeah.
It's Fitz still.
No,
he's
it's
still the
Fitz
starter,
is
isn't
not. It's Tua, but they have like no running backs. They're going with DeAndre Washington and Eli McGuire this week.
and that's the way you attack Kansas City's running,
Right.
and they have nobody, so it's Kansas City.
Yeah, Ahmed's out with the shoulder injury still. Gaskin ended up on COVID,
On COVID.
coded
Yeah.
for the next 2 weeks.
Going Casey.
Yeah, and their pass defense should be good enough to slow down Tua.
Higgins or Charks. Standards.
Were the Jags playing?
Jags have Titans.
Oh, Chark.
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 Shark.
It's not. It's not it's sexy.
The
Why do you
floor
mean-
is the floor is the same. The upside's higher for Chark.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take Chark.
And Tennessee's defense is falling apart here.
Yeah, they've not been great.
No.
All right, keeping it moving. Zeke Elliott expected to play against the Bengals despite dealing with a calf injury. You have no concerns there. We beat the dead.
I mean,
horse.
I have concerns with his performance this year.
Well, in general, but you're starting him.
I have a league I'm not.
Yeah, you're starting over him.
Chubb, Robinson, and JT.
So,
That's fair.
I mean, I would only argue with one of those. Allen Robinson is a dumpster.
No,
for-
James
Oh,
Robinson.
James
James
Robinson.
Robinson,
Okay, never
so I'm
mind.
assuming.
He's got a hamstring injury, but he should go. Actually, sorry, he was limited, but I think it's more workload management for him because it's another guy they weren't expecting to have to shoulder as much workload as he has. You expected RBBC, but that hasn't planned out. Ozigbo hasn't been able to stay healthy, and he's just been a lot better than I think anybody expected. DeAndre Swift, though, we beat that dead horse. DeAndre Hopkins and Kenyon Drake both expected to be good to go against the Giants after spending the week questionable. So they'll both play. Giants defense has been playing better as of late,
Very good.
They've been top
They've
5
been
lately.
Very good.
and particularly against Hopkins, who has not, outside of a couple touchdown passes, really been giving you a ton of floor in that Cardinals offense. It's almost like, I don't know, we expected this.
I mean, yeah, it's like we expected season to be flipped almost. We expected him to struggle this. Now they struggle. Expected to be right there. Like they peaked early. It's like
100,
a high schooler.
yeah, 100-yard 100-yard performance in the last 5 weeks. In just 2 touchdowns. So there's 2 weeks where
James Bradbury too.
yeah, and he gets Bradbury. It's not a great matchup for Hopkins. You may have better options out there. Not that it's hard to sit him, but because he does still get target volume. But Giants have been playing very well. And Hopkins has not been a locked and loaded wide receiver 1 every week. He's got his blow up game sprinkled throughout, but if he's not going for over 100, it's a little dicey.
Yeah, can't expect a lot of scoring in this. Waiting for Murray to kind of healthy ties into Hopkins. Like if you look at like Hopkins' route chart over the past few weeks, it's a lot of just out for 9 rounds. Like the offense.
All right, ton of questions coming in. Dobbins or Godwin in PPR?
Or Chark, he had it on.
Or Chark?
PR?
Godwin.
Godwin?
Godwin?
Hit the Vikings. It's like I feel like this is a bounce back spot for this Bucks off.
It very much is. It's the
It
perfect.
should be.
Yeah, it's a perfect recipe for a get right game for Godwin. And I would still have Dobbins over Chark, I think.
I agree. I do think it's
It'd be
Godwin as
tough.
the top if
Yeah.
you're picking one.
I'd go with
I would also go with Godwin. Yeah, consensus. Zeke or Gallman?
dude.
This is where
fucking evil, dude.
this is
It's
where we're
Gallman.
at. This is where we're
Gallman.
at. It's got to be
This is where
Gallman,
we're at.
right?
It's Gallman now. Yeah.
I do think Zeke should have an okay game, but he has been so prone to fumble. Got like one touchdown in the last 6 games or something ridiculous
It's a
like
bad
that.
Dallas offense. It's
It's
not scoring points.
Yeah, and when they do score, it tends to be big plays to the wide receivers.
Yep. He has had 1 touchdown, and it was a receiving touchdown since week
was against-
6.
That was
He's
against
got
the
one
Vikings,
touchdown
right?
this year.
The last
Jesus.
8 weeks.
Jesus.
It was a receiving touchdown. He has been over 100 yards one time all season.
That was like week 2 or something, right?
Week 11.
Okay,
Went
that
for
was
Last
103.
week was his best receptions or catches. Other than that, since 60s,
Yeah,
so the receptions
Zeke
aren't even
is like there is some upside against the Bengals, but I think Coleman is a way safer play, and that feels real fucking weird to say.
fucking 2020.
Yeah, it's Wayne
Jesus.
Gallman. Welcome to 2020. Cousins or Stafford?
Cousins.
Cousins.
They'll be playing from behind.
And the way you attack Tampa Bay is their secondary is a train wreck.
It is because the pass rush is getting there, and the run defense is getting there. They still have problems in the secondary, but the front seven's improved a lot over the last couple seasons. Shenault, Marvin Jones, Darius Slayton, or Hunter Renfrow in PPR. I think we all know my answer here, but
Marvin Jones.
no, my answer.
He's come on as of late without Kenny Galladay.
He has. Galladay's going to miss again. They get Green Bay, which
So he's going to get Jair
Alexander, which is a little rough.
Michael,
I don't think it should.
Jair might drop.
I don't think it's Chenault,
Not Slate.
not Slayton.
So you're thinking Renfro?
Well, it's PPR. My answer is always Hunter Renfrow in PPR.
I still think I'm going Jones. I don't like any of these. They all either have a poor matchup or questionable volume.
Just because in PPR, you're, solid chance at getting a 10-point floor out of Hunter Renfrow.
I still think I'm going Jones. though.
Yeah, Jones has the much higher upside. I'll back off and say Marvin Jones just because the Raiders have been, shall we say, inconsistent with their target distribution all season outside of Darren Waller. So, yeah.
And they just have so many guys who fill that slot role that it's like, is Renfro going to be the guy this week?
Yeah, Renfro's more so the guy that they go to. It's third and Renfro, pretty much is how that works for them. It's third and Renfro. He's the guy they go to when they need to complete a pass, but you're still get Aguilar mixed in. The shots are going to go to Aguilar or Ruggs, and you're still using Darren Waller a lot in that intermediate game. So it's just very inconsistent. Need 2 from Jonathan Taylor, Edwards-Helaire, or Swift in full PPR. Huge underdog. Traded for CMC, but can't use him. Cooks and DJ Moore also out. So need upside here. Jonathan Taylor's DeAndre Swift are the upside plays, I think.
Yeah, just given the matchup. I mean, there's a possibility you get a CEH 0 game out of Swift this week. And I'm real happy we told everyone not to start CEH last week because that ended up looking genius.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, I think it is JT and Swift. But is there a lot of concern that Swift ends up being nothing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's all three. Talked about it should be, game script. Should be.
Who?
This game.
Carlos Hyde?
No,
Oh.
CH.
CH, okay. I thought you said Hyde.
Yeah. Oh, no. I may have, but
I think you did.
I
But
probably did.
the problem with CH is that you look at his last couple games and the yardage hasn't been there for him. And the touches haven't been there for him.
Let the offense go. Patty Mahomes.
It does. So, I mean,
I don't think, like, if he had another option, I might be interested. I don't think there's any way you can start CEH right now.
yeah, I don't think so either. I think you got to go JT and Swift if you need the major upside because I don't see that major upside coming out of Edwards-Helaire. Not to say it'd be bad. You could go a combination of JT and Edwards-Helaire if you wanted to mix ceiling with floor. But if you need as much upside as you're saying, then you need to take the home run swing, which is JT and Swift.
You look at that volume. I think since the Bell signing, he's no higher than 50.
And usually
this is
under
after
50.
starting the season 65 plus.
Yeah.
And so Bell's got to be a factor. And I know it's the same with AT. There's always and with Swift, but I think you got to go JT.
Yep, I think so too. All right, the Dolphins situation. Talked about this a little bit earlier, but Myles Gaskin, Matt Breida both out on the COVID-19 list. Salvin Ahmed still out with a shoulder injury. Means it's going to be DeAndre Washington with Elijah McGuire brought up from the practice squad in this one.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Dead fucking silence.
Yeah, with no running game for Miami, I think this game's going to get real ugly.
And it's against the Chiefs. You're looking Gesicki and Parker in this one because you're going to have to throw.
And you can, go throw a trade offer for.
It doesn't go well.
Bad and dire because one dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this has happened, so we can put Kalen Ballage to bed. The Chargers have activated Justin Jackson from IR. So
about time.
That being said, you're Austin Eckler and nobody else there because you need to see. Ballage has been good. It pains me to say that. Jackson's been good, and we've always kind of wondered how that secondary workload was going to work out once Jackson got back. You're going to see it split between those other three backs, making Eckler the only guy that's worth starting here.
You know who's not the answer? Kelly.
Josh Kelly.
Yeah, he is. He has been real bad.
Giants making a questionable decision replacing the undefeated starter Colt McCoy with Daniel Jones.
I don't know if that's the right call, but
I don't either. But
Danny Dimes will find a way to lose that game. Colt McCoy would have led him to safety.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Ryan.
Another question. Ryan O'Rourke hurt by injury this week. Pick 3: Duke Johnson, Ty Johnson, James Conner, DeAndre Washington, Todd Gurley.
Fuck, man.
So David Johnson on the COVID list. Duke has not done a whole lot. Bears, run
Hicks
defense
is going, right.
Hicks is going, so you're out on that. Ty Johnson for the Jets is. Who do the Jets play? Let me look at that.
And also is Gore back.
Gore's concussed, but I don't know if I think he was questionable.
So Gore's expected to play. I don't think he can play Johnson.
So I don't think you can play Ty Johnson with Gore expected to play.
So I think it's probably the last 3.
Pick
Connor
3.
Washington.
Yeah, Connor Washington and Gurley. It's got to be Connor against the Bills. Bills' defense has kind of gone the way of the Titans' defense, where they've been really good, and now they've gone really, really bad. Washington's the only guy standing for Miami, unless you believe in Elijah McGuire, so he's worth...
It's been a few years since I've done that.
Yeah, he's worth the YOLO star, and Gurley has touchdown upside, and that's probably the best thing I can say, other than the fact that the Chargers' defense has also not been good. So I think it's those last 3. Judy or Higgins in PPR.
Higgins.
And then over-under on Gesicki 5 receptions.
Over.
He's going to get Tyrann Mathieu. I don't know.
Hold on, let me look at
Gesicki, I have to look to see what he's actually done.
That's what I'm doing right
That's
now.
a high over-under for a tight end.
He has cleared that twice.
Under. It could go over.
And recently, or?
Yeah, last week. Against Cincinnati.
I just think there's going to be so much passing volume from Miami's side this week.
Yeah, I'd take the over on that, I think. I know he's got Matthew, but I think that they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to pass. Unless that defense, we doubt Miami's defense every week, it seems like. And they always prove us wrong. It's Mahomes. Miami's going to be from behind. They have no running backs, and they really only have 2 pass catching options.
If you're doing this for betting wise, I'm sure the over got to be far better odds. Also, the 9 receptions last week, he hasn't cleared 5 since week 5. He hasn't cleared 4. He's only once with the dud in week. It's tough to go over on that one, but if you're actually betting on it, then you can throw. I wouldn't throw a lot of money on it. If you like that prop, I would go. I haven't looked to see what Titans have.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And also the answer for the other one is
you think it's Judy over Higgins? I guess I got to be the tiebreaker here. Because Nick said Higgins without hesitation.
I just do not trust Judy at this point. Like, he is disappointed in so many plus matchups. So give me the guy who's actually done some stuff.
Yeah, it's T. Higgins.
Go pick up Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh, I of the
That's
two
the
Denver
answer.
receivers, it's Tim Patrick, but he should be owned already.
Yep. All right. Next one: Terry McLaurin, Allen Robinson, Nick Chubb. Pick 2.
Well, Chubb,
Chubb
you never take him out of your lineup.
It's Chubb
so-
and McLaurin for me.
Ah.
McLaurin struggled last week. He had Pittsburgh. Weeks leading up to that, 80 plus yards.
but it's freaking Houston who is
Plus matchup.
garbage.
That's right.
I think it's Allen Robinson.
Battle of 2000.
Do you get points for stepping out short of the sticks? Here, let's look at Allen Robinson, shall we? So Terry McLaurin, I'm burning some of our 40 minutes, but we're gonna go here. Terry McLaurin has been over 70 yards every week, but 2 this year. He has had double-digit targets. Not double digits, sorry. We'll go 8+ every week of the season except for last week against Pittsburgh. He's had 5 or more receptions in, every week, throwing out the Pittsburgh game every week since week 5. Looking at Allen Robinson, here, Allen Robinson, he's been over 100 yard once. He's been over...
No, twice.
Twice, sorry. He's been over 70, 1, 2, 3, 5 of the last 6. They're actually pretty even.
I think the answer is you can't pick one Ron. We will.
Touchdown
You can't-
upside goes to Robinson.
And it's a better match.
They're not throwing to McLaurin in the red zone.
Yeah, McLaurin, when he scored, he's had to do it himself from long distance.
I'm mad at Allen Robinson. I hope you'll understand that. I'm a Bears fan.
We know you are. We know you are.
I've been pissed at Allen Robinson for a whole week.
I've been pissed at the Bears.
Robinson is just the current Bear who's catching your ire.
Yeah, Robinson.
But you got to put feelings aside.
Yeah,
Put
well,
on
I
your-
just did when I said that they're pretty even in as far
I
as
know.
receiving stats go, and Allen Robinson's got the touchdown upside. So feelings aside, it's Allen Robinson, but I don't like it. Matchups, it's also Allen Robinson. Latavius Murray healthy this week. Saints against the Eagles. He's flex every week.
Yep, and you just hope he blows up because if he,
Oh, awesome, Zoom. Zoom just gave me a gift of removing the 40-minute time limit.
There we
I saw
go.
that.
Sweet.
Thanks, Zoom.
David Johnson, reserve COVID-19 list, not going to play versus the Bears. We talked about that. Duke Johnson's flex. It's not pretty.
Good flex, but there.
It's a volume flex. If you like people getting blown up by Akeem Hicks in the backfield, he's a good one.
Don't play Duke Johnson.
I would definitely do everything you could to avoid it. I would much
Yes.
rather start DeAndre Washington
Yes,
Yeah.
you'll actually catch passes.
or someone like Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. Deebo Samuel going to play week 14 against Washington, coming off of a foot injury. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Deebo always has upside, but he also always has the potential to re-aggravate whatever is ailing him. And if the Niners can run the football, they're going to be run first. Deebo gives you some of that A.J. Brown type of yak. Actually, they play very similar, in my opinion. Brown's just, more of a beast. But, yeah. Darnell Mooney expected to play against the Texans despite missing practice for personal reasons. So, again, Darnell Mooney, perpetual upside play. One day it's going to hit. I'm just going to keep giving that take, and one day it's going to be right because one day those targets are actually going to turn into yards.
One day those 50 pounds will.
He's getting deep targets. He's getting target volume. He's getting separation. They're just not connecting on them. One day that's going to work.
Might not be this year, but
So
it
if you
will
need
happen.
upside, yeah.
So this is a buy Daryl Moody.
Should also buy Darnell too, not just
Yeah,
Daryl.
Whatever.
Curtis Samuel, nope. DJ Moore. because that leads into the Curtis Samuel news.
I
I
know.
did here. We got transitions.
Nope.
DJ Moore going to miss the Panthers' Week 14 matchup against the Broncos. Meanwhile, Curtis Samuel has been activated from the reserve list and will play. So, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. I mean, I don't know how much I love this game. I think they're going to have to throw. I think that you're going to see them try to get Samuel involved in some various ways, giving him flex upside. Robbie Anderson's obviously going to assume clear top receiver, Bill.
Yeah, of the two, I'd much rather have Anderson.
Yep. Vikings standout Eric Kendricks is going to miss Week 14 against the Bucks. That's of note because that's literally, outside of Harrison Smith, the only good player on that defense that's
It's gonna be
healthy.
a field day.
Kendricks has stood out in every Vikings game I've watched this year.
He's
So
been good for the last. He is one of the best of not.
right. So
Like he's insanely.
So that's a bonus to Gronk, bonus to Ronald Jones.
yes.
No Fournette since he's inactive. So
Yep, which is also a
he's
bonus
a
for
healthy
Ronald
scratch,
Jones.
not hurt. So Keyshawn Vaughn, maybe Keyshawn Vaughn will.
make us all regret burying him too early.
I still haven't buried him, but I've given up on it happening this season.
I've stopped I've stopped trying to stop other people from burying him.
Right. So have I.
I'm letting him die in peace.
Speaking of people I want to die in peace, actually I don't. He's surprised me. Come along as the season's gone on. Antonio Gibson likely to miss this week with turf toe. Has not practiced all week since sustaining that injury. J.D. McKissick should see plenty of passing volume.
And then Barber will be your goal line back.
Yeah, sure.
Here comes 45 rushing yard touchdowns on like
Peyton Barber.
Peyton Barber. This
Probably. That's what he did like week 1 of the season, wasn't it?
that's what he just does. He did it last year with Tampa Bay. Y'all, no one likes Peyton Barber. I don't think
Denzel.
Peyton Barber likes.
Yep, I don't like Peyton Barber. Not the biggest fan. Denzel Mims not going to play this week due to personal reasons. Jamison Crowder considered questionable against Seattle, so this is of note because Seattle's defense sucks. So Rashad Perriman,
They have been trending better.
better. Rashad Perriman, but the other thing of note is Braxton Berrios. If Crowder does not go, Braxton Berrios will assume that role.
If you're in a
White
super,
slot
super,
receiver.
super, super deep league, that's your play.
Are we getting a Braxton Berrios take?
Yeah, you're going to get a Braxton Berrios take. Earlier this year, I believe when Crowder missed.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
He blew up for like 2 games.
he had a 2-game standout stretch where he went 50-plus with a tutter, which is good enough for wide receiver 2 status. So there's your Braxton Berrios take. Take that for what you will. It's a plus matchup. Crowder doesn't go. If you're desperate for wide receiver help,
This is only if Crowder doesn't go.
yeah, only if Crowder doesn't go. Braxton Berrios. What's the best way to flex about my team getting a bye? It definitely does not deserve in our dynasty league. Suck it, bitches. That's what. Here's what you do. Every time, think about it the way I think about quarterbacks. Every time somebody shows out a little bit that absolutely doesn't deserve hype, you turn it up to 12 and you just run with it and straight into whatever brick
you
wall
buy
you're
it
going to hit. You just talk all the shit. You throw out all the hype. You talk about how great you are or how great your team is and just completely run with it until you hit a brick wall and have to eat those words. So
I think you should
Just run until the floor drops out on you, and then once that happens, just try to hide and go away.
I think
you actually just keep running for a few seconds Looney Tunes style before the exaggerated fall happens.
bring yourself to a park. You have someone film you, lips put on.
Yeah.
Or just bobbing your head and just living your best life. That would be what I would do.
Yeah. If you need any advice on how to do that, listen to any Drew Lock take, any Justin Herbert take, any Blake Bortles take. Who else?
Well, Herbert might actually be.
Well, yeah, but still. Let's see. Josh Allen, even last year before he broke out. I mean, not every time I do this does it end up badly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're
I'm batting about
Might be
500.
you're betting probably 500. Maybe. I think so.
Yeah,
You only lock one.
I lock every week until it hits. Dynasty shares. Gardner Minshew. There's another one,
Oh yeah.
which I don't know if the floor fell out. I think Marone's just trying to save his ass with Mike Glennon.
That's a strange play.
Yeah. That's the Bears, how that works. Julio Jones going to miss week 14 with a hamstring injury against the Chargers, so all the Calvin Ridley. Russell Gage, I think, has been getting the target volume in Julio's absence. So
He has, but it's still not a great matchup this
Yeah.
week.
it is not. All right. Looking at some late breaking news here. Zeke Elliott active for week 14 against the Bengals. We knew that. We talked about that. He's somewhere below Wayne Gallman. Daniel Jones officially active. No surprise inactives for the Chiefs. There's a Ricky Seals-Jones sighting, though, on the inactive list.
I forgot he was a thing.
Oh, Dante Pettis sighting, too, on the Giants inactives.
Holy fuck! I forgot he went to the Giants.
I did, too. McCaffrey officially inactive. Tyler Eifert is active against the Titans. Darnell Mooney is officially active, as we discussed. So, unable to practice, but should be good to go. Salvin Ahmed officially inactive, as we talked about. Dolphins will also be without Kyle Van Noy this week. Kyle Rudolph is officially inactive, because that matters in some world.
Well, Irv Smith active.
Right.
So
So you weren't going for Rudolph anyway.
in those deep two tight end premium league.
Yep.
Fire up your.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, the healthy scratch, as we talked about. One other thing to look at before we wrap this guy up. It's been a good show. Yeah, it helps if I put the whole search phrase in the Google. Nope, I don't think that's the way. Okay. Looking at weather real quick. I don't believe there's anything to be too concerned about. Rain in Seattle for the Jets game, 65% chance.
I mean, are we talking
Yeah.
like rain? Or are we talking like a Seattle misting?
Like a Seattle misting, it looks like.
Don't care then.
Light winds end zone to end zone.
Yeah, I think Wilson will be just fine.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay there. That confused me for a second. Sorry. The report on Washington at the Niners was clear, but then there were raindrops for the image. Getting mixed signals. Yep.
Pick up your mind weather.
Yeah, damn it, weather. Somebody should be able to control that. All right. Last call for questions. Otherwise, I think that's the show. Real quick, actually, I said I wanted to do this exercise, so let's just do it. I'm looking at the slate of games. What really stands out to me as potentially being high scoring are Titans, Jaguars, Vikings, Bucks, and Falcons, Chargers. Steelers, Bills has potential. It depends on if the Steelers offense can get off the schneid. So.
Yeah.
No, but how much upside do the Bills have in that one?
Trust that offense.
Yeah, I trust it. Diggs in that,
Competent.
and Allen. I trust them to be competent, but it definitely is capped a bit. And the Steelers actually, I don't know that that trio of Claypool, Johnson, and Schuster. I started that phrase off weird. What I was going to say is all three of them have the potential to have a big game in this one. Just, likelihood is that not all three of them will, even though that potential is there.
I do like the over. I think that game should all.
Mhm.
I know that. No, sneaky game stack.
Yeah. Vikings, I expect Vikings, Bucks. Quick note, expect Thielen and Jefferson both that big games in that one.
At least one, probably both.
Yeah, likely both. And Titans, Jaguars. For the Titans, it's another week where you can run out both A.J. Brown and Corey Davis and feel good about it. So, I got some eye rolls earlier in a league I'm in because I had Corey Davis in my starting lineup, and I just posted last week's stats
He saved my ass in a league where a win got me a bye. So I am a very big fan of Corey Davis right now.
Corey Davis has got.
Did the Titans pick up a 5th-year option?
No.
You guys know?
No.
This is like his contract.
Yep.
He's going to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, there's
a lot of free agent wide receivers though that may limit.
Oh, that in the draft is extremely deep. It could.
I would like to see the Bears pick him up. Let Robinson walk, get a guy that
Another AFC South receiver.
Well, let Robinson walk and get a guy in that's a bit younger.
Wouldn't pay him.
And you may not have to pay him a lot of money given the tier of free agents that's out there. It may be a high upside type signing, and then you go draft somebody.
Because there's going to be guys like Godwin, Robinson, Watkins out there too.
Yeah,
a lot of these guys will be. I would assume.
I'd expect Robinson. Godwin probably gets re-signed.
Robinson, or at least get franchised.
Yeah, Robinson will walk. We're getting into the free agency preview episode, which we usually save for sometime next spring.
2 months.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Davis though, 400-yard performances this year. He's on pace to go over 1,000 yards. 4
and
touchdowns.
A good number of touchdowns.
Yeah. 6 to 8 touchdowns probably is about where he ends up. I mean, good
fit.
Good schedule. Too. They could keep him. I agree. So, yeah. Just a little note on the hate Corey Davis has been getting. Anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this one. Good luck to everybody. We will be back. Dan and I will figure that out because I'm not sure when yet. Sometime early next week. I don't have anything going on, so.
Outside of a small child.
I do have a small child.
Out of the small.
Yeah, no. I have nothing else pressing next week, so Dan and I will figure that out. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube, hit the notification bell. You'll figure out when we're here. So.
Then we'll see you guys the next 2 Sundays as well.
Yep. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And again, apologies for the late cancellation with no notice throughout the week. So hopefully we made up for that today.
More pressing needs had to come.
Yep. Family stuff.
No. Burden of a child.
Yep.
It takes precedent. Okay.
It does.
It takes precedent over most things.
Well, yes.
We made up for it by getting the band back together for a week. So there you go.
3 fucking amigos.
It's like a Blink 182 reunion.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Later, guys.